We're very slow today. I think I need a new computer. I'm just going up the screen.
Let's see, where are we? On page Kuf Lamed in the book.
So share screen. Okay, we're up the Hachi Haba. Hachi Haba be'ina the Rabbanan Kamoi. So it's still not to tell you about what was going on in the times of the ancient rabbis. In the book it says Mirosh. Kiparikin Farshna Nachna, like we explained, Hashta now. Perish Kol Chad V'Chad Min Rabasa. Each and every person explained it. Each of the one of the Gedolim explained in the early times of Amora'im as they saw fit. I guess Confarshna Achna means like we do it similar to what we do it today. In other words, like we learn yeshivas today and expound things to our Talmudim. So too back then they did each every person. Teach each one of his students according to what he needed, and what based on what they what he was capable of learning. Interesting. Sounds like the yeshivas were not just made for the intellectual elite, because each student got what the yachal minon. I don't know if anybody picks up on that.
That's good.
Fumai yachal melav atam minhon min haperushim. Yesh tamid shedato ktsara min farish la'omek asugei no yachol lizbol. Wow. Okay. They had individualized instruction, differentiated learning, whatever it's called nowadays. Okay.
Nothing new under the sun.
What?
Ein chadash tachad hashemesh.
Yeah. Igad Amilahu Roche Dvarim. Some students they taught just the Roche Prakim, the overview, Bikaran and the primary components, Bishara, Mevi Midaitai, and the rest they would understand their own. I guess these are the really intelligent ones. They used to be taught just the Rosh Prakim, and the rest of they would understand their own. Minhon Iko the Tzichl Mifshat. And others you have to expand the conversation, and give it them at length, and to give them analogies and parables in order to explain it. Very progressive education.
Yeah.
Okay. V'aminan that if the Rebbe Gemara and the Kul Talmidei Kol Chad V'Chad Talmidei Rabbi Abba, and it's that what you said, that after Rebbe was till Rebbe's death, each student learned in front of his Rebbe. Yeah, like we said before, like it says in the bottom of that ring inside, each Rebbe have his own version, his own text, his own girsa. V'kami ditris masnisin, and before the Mishnayos were reconciled based on the Gemara's discussions thereof, kol chad echad tamud fi Mishnah sahaba. Each person will according to his Mishnah. Sadi Tritza, after everything was resolved, kol yemi the Rebbe, during Rebbe's lifetime? Is that what he means? Yeah, I guess. Kol chad v'chad pashul masnisim gam l'tam yilchot delay. Each one learned the Mishnah according to his way. And then beside the Nafshi Rebbe, after Rebbe was nifter, Milkate, they have to gather it. So he's saying that the real redaction of the version of the Mishnayos occurred, and I think we knew this story before, during the days of the early Amora'im.
Mhm.
Let's hear what he says here on the bottom on in the screen. There were two periods. At Kufa Shivnei see the Rebbe a Mishnah, the period before Rebbe arranged the Mishnah, Shaz Loyal and Girsa Muskemes. The Mishnah didn't have a set version for the Mishnah, Vakoshkin Shloyal and Girsa Muskemes, the Talmud. So they have a set version for the Talmud, you perish on Mishnah. Zechariah Rabbeinu Kol Chad V'chad Talmudo Lefi Mishnah So. Each had his own Talmud, his own interpretation. Mishnah Lefi Anusach Shebachar Lo, the Talmud Lefi Mashinir Rabbeinu. Hatkufa base, Hatkufa Sha'achash is the Rebbe's Mishnah, the time after Rebbe arranged the Mishnahs. Fa'ilam Mishnah Muskemes already had a Mishnah which was agreed upon. Avadain Loyalim Talmud Muskam, they still have a Talmud which was agreed upon. Charavi Amlai to me of Talmud, Lefian Yer Nochem Beinov. Zechariah Beinu, that's what the Reb Shirgon calls Gemorehon, the Kul Talmidei, Kol Chai V'chad Talmid Vnei Rabbo. Beside the Tarza, Achash Nisa Mishnah, Pashlu Mas Nisan, Farsham Mas Mishnah, V'gamet Tami Hilchos Adidei Lilei. So each Amora would teach Limela and Perish Allah Shalah. Mishnah is called Mishnah, Mishnah Nikres Allah. They teach the halachas in each every Mishnah. It's Lemilcha Mikse Pe Echad, Lashon Echad. Alefish Rebbe Lemela Mishnah Nusa Kavua. A Perish Mishnah and a Talmud Li Rebbe Kol Chamitami Kfi Mashet Tzorich Oso Talmud. Okay, this is a new thing. It's interesting. He says that
He's talking about the Talmud and not the Mishnah.
the Talmud
Was
but
redacted. Sounds like the Mishnah was redacted during Rebbe's lifetime.
Right, and then the Talmud he would teach each and every. I don't know. A Rebbe used to use this progressive educational system to his own Talmidim. That's what he's saying, and he used to teach each one. Those are called long explanations. Those require short explanations. Perish cloud. Those didn't require perish at all. Rock Rashi Prokim. Okay, so everybody was different. Nifta Rebbe Niskansu Kol Tamim Kol Mikol Tam Tam Mashkim Rebbe Inyan Perish Mishnah. Siru Perish Muskan Mishnah Nusa Chavla Shechad Behainu Talmud. Well, that Talmud is no longer extant today. I mean, it's evidently like a layer of our Gemara, but it's not. But it's not a separate, distinct text. There's this fellow, very very controversial fellow, was a professor in JTS for many years. His name was Professor Weiss Alivni, and he had the Talmidim in Iran and other places, and he was of the opinion that you could uncover the layers of the Talmud. He made the shita called Rivadim, and in the yeshivas are very opposed to the shita. We believe that you cannot peel back layers of the Talmud, but if you do, then you can't give different levels of authority to the different layers, which is what Rivadim does. Says that the stom of the Gemara is not of the same authority as the attributed statements, and so on and so forth. So it became a very controversial shita, which is used in some more modern yeshivas today in Israel, and I guess in America as well. So in any event, but this would be, if you were a Rivadim fan, so this would be something which you would probably feel very enthusiastic about, saying that, well, some of Rebbe's Talmidim were smart and some of them were stupid. And maybe the Gemaras, which he taught to the Talmud, which he taught to the stupid Talmidim, the challenged Talmidim, were less authoritative than the ones that he taught to the more intelligent Talmidim, which of course would be very dangerous. Okay. Okay. So going back here. So so kol yom the Rebbe l'cholcha pashu mastis v'gomru tam ilchos adila. Each one got it according to his capacity, his expertise. Uv'sar nach nafshi the Rebbe, after Rebbe's nifta, itzach milk they had to put it together. So again, they had this according to what the the fellow on the screen says they made this early version of the Talmud. Okay.
Okay.
Tana'im Achronim. Usar Rebbe have a Tana'im min Hasam. There were Tana'im from there, from Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yishim, and Rabbi Gamliel Berebbe. Minachah gon Rabbi Yoshe min Hutzel. Miulot Tana'im mi masnisin. However, we don't have anything in the Mishnah from them. Um, uh, the El Dahava Tanoi Kame Hochein, whatever was can first receive a Omer Rishon, Rabbi Rebbe, Rabbi Nosson, Sof Mishnah. I know what it means Tani Kame.
What is safer? What?
I say about Mishnah, he explains here. But let's see this. Uh, uh, Lo shinu davar minusach hamashnishlav lo hem lo bnei ador achrei shachreim. Dafka shu tanoim lo ichnisor shachreim as in doch nusach mishnah shon divreim betosefta bebraises muchoros o shu shon divreim balpeh. Right, so these later tanoim, I think Rabbi Chia is the most famous example. I know he's not mentioned here. Rabbi Chia is the most famous example of somebody who, he didn't get into the Mishnayos. He's a Tani, he didn't get into the Mishnayos. I guess he's the ones which are later than Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yoshe. They're not even Tosefta, maybe. I don't know why they're not. Maybe that's why they're mentioned separately. Like they're even later Tanoim. Then the Mishnah earned the Tosefta. I'm assuming that. But the Sefer Shadam Rishon, if you take a look in the printed text, Sefer Shadam Rishon Sefer Meichil Seder Daros at Sofa Olam Kol Manigava Chachamav Shira Hashem Adam Muba Metzia Pehei Vayika Rabba Perk Desva Melkomos. The Rishirigon Nishal Bikvos Iskura Sefer Ze Bigrato Amoso Shel Sefer Zeh. He was asked about the what the sefer was about, but I don't know that he explains it here.
This is not something we have, is it?
No, but the Gemara just said the Gemara just used it in order to explain the who lived in which generation, and like this idea like Rabbi Nosson Sof Mishnah and Rabbi Asher Ravina was Sof Gemara. So that's all attributed to the Sefer Adam Rishon. It does us no good because all it is giving chronology, which the Gemara already knows. No, it's telling us, okay, Adam Rishon is already told that there's going to be Rabbi Nosson. Now, I don't even know if the Gemara had the Sefer Rabbi Adam Rishon because then they'd be able to know the future. So I think this is like an allegorical thing. And in Adam Rishon Sefer, in other words, in Sefer told us Adam, is already determined who's going to be in which generation and be the final authority of that epic.
No.
Okay. Yeah, let's look it up. Okay. Hold on a second. Can you see the screen I just changed?
Yes.
What happened to say? Yeah, my base.
It was in the on screen. I don't see it here in the.
Let me just make sure I'm sharing it properly. Okay, so the last line here, right? Havakam, it's that this is Shmuel. It's about Shmuel, right? It says Shmuel was Rebbe's doctor, and Rebbe wanted to. He healed Rebbe's eyes, and Vahava Kamitzar Rebbe the Misbechei. Rebbe wanted to give him smicha. V'lohava Mistayim Milsa. and it didn't work. He wasn't ready. He was not able to give Shmuel smicha. The Amar le loli star mar. You shouldn't feel badly. Didi chazi for the Adam Rishon. I saw the safe of Adam Rishon, and this
Rebbe saw it or Shmuel
no
saw
Shmuel saw it,
it?
and
Shmuel
in
did not want to get smicha, or he
Shmuel
did.
wanted to get smicha, but he wasn't able to get it.
Uh,
And this is Rashi here. Uh, oh, he doesn't even explain anything, Rashi. Rashi just leaves it. Does anybody explain here?
there's something about he didn't know.
This is the Gemara, and this is the Mefarshim here.
I saw something on Rashi lo yasham mistayele or something.
You saw something about?
Oh, there you go.
Where's the Adam Rishon though?
Last one, the last Rashi.
Yeah, we doesn't say what the Sefer Adam Rishon is. I don't see the Marashor maybe. Maral. Chazit Sefer Adam Rishon. Dav ze Pirash Mokum Acher. Bein b'mashu nikra Adam Stam. Adam Rishon kol b'nei Adam am neshu aschola v'aschola yaschola kol sheyesh bo hakol. The koyach. Feel koyach Adam Rishon yaseder ka'olam. So it's not that. No, it's not literally. I was saying that everything comes from Adam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stakel here down here. Sefer Rishon shoots zero olam. He looked at the depiction of the world in the app in the Olam Soyanim. Vein Roishia came to say olam, and it's not Roy the say olam. When they show olam, he started to see for Adam Rishon for Rashi Shmuel Asya the Rebbe. Came Rebbe Ikra olam. Came to Asya Shalo. Okay. Anyway, this is. I'm not sure what we have to do. We have to do. In other words, he's saying these are apps. It's an idea. Say for Shalom. It's not a literal thing. Okay, and it's the destiny of the world. So
What's
the what
okay? What is Asya here mean?
doctor,
Okay.
doctor. Shows was to be a doctor, not a rabbi. Um, let's see if the daf says something here. No.
All right.
No, no. So it's anyway. The next page it says, and about Chacham is correct that Shmuel is going to be called a Chacham, but Rebbe is not be called a rabbi. But as the Rebbe, I tell you, and that the healing of Rebbe will be his hand. Rebbe knows itself Mishnah, Rebbe Vash, Rebbe knows itself Ra. That's all it's quoted from Seder Adam Rishon.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not a. It's cryptic in the Gemara itself.
Okay.
So and that's Rabbi Ramnas's sub Mishnah is it means that the Tana'im after him, after Rabbi Ramnas, are not including the Mishnah, even though the Tana'im. Okay, Dora Ma'ava, what? Can you see it
So
now?
let's get into it. The Dor Mavar ben Tana'im
Yeah,
Amora'im.
Dora
Okay.
Tana'im. Havu Nami Rabban Achrin Yadisinu Tana'im Amora'im. The other rabbis of Tana'im Amora'im go Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yanai, the Rav, the Avatalmidei. The Rebbe V'gamre me Rebbe Chia. He learned from Rebbe Chia. Then we include Rabbi Yochanan here. And I remember Karhavina Yasvin Achrei Shvas Yeshurun. I sat in the base Medrash, 17 rows back. Achrei the Rab, behind Rab, the Rab. Kame the Rebbe. Rab sat in front of Rebbe. Five napkins cooking the Nur and what's it called fireworks, flares. A fire will go me pumi the rab the Rebbe pumi the rab from the mouth of Rebbe to Rebbe the house of Rab, and to the mouth of Rab. The Rab pumi the Rebbe lowered down in my comrade. I didn't know what they were saying because there was such a high madriga over me. The Kamaduch I mean on Rab Tana who probably Rab is a Tana and could argue on Tana'im.
Mhm.
In the printed text he says, uh, Sharav Tana Haya B'Sefer Krisus Rosh Limudim Shar Simin Kufus Gimel Simin Av Kosef Shita She'enam Tanoim She'lo Skru Lo Mishnah Brisa Tzomar She'im Chashuv Kamo Tanoim B'Chem Achlok La Mishnah Brisa Arkan. Not sure what he gains by saying that, but they're not technically Tanoim, but they could argue on Tanoim. Okay, and then he says Sefer Kidas Rodim Klaus Nates Ksab Zosho Lo She'atana She'Beis No She'Bina Kodesh Rashayu Achlok Altano. So again, I don't know what sounds like a technicality to me. Doesn't sound like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Um
Yeah, it's how do you define Tana? Is a Tana anybody in that in Rebbe's generation and before, or is it Tana somebody that has to have been quoted in a Brisa or a Mishnah?
right, exactly. Okay. Uh and then we have the Amora'im. Amora'im Ador Rishon. They're only they're not they're only Amora'im. Gon Shmuel, Rabbi Shila, Rabbi Archana, Rav Kahana Kama, Rav Kahana the first, Rav Asi B'Yameim, B'Sofam, Rav Ada Bar Ava, later on in the end of this first generation, Rav Ada Bar Ava, Rav Avua Zkenenu. Really, it's a ancestor of Rav Shirgon. The base of Siava was the house of Nasi. The Anachto Naktinim Mekabala, we have a Mesordim base Nasi Anachto for the house of Nasi. We reside the Rabbi Bar Avua. Sorry, Chanina, Rabbi Yanai, Hassam there in Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Yochanan, Rishim ben Lakish, Shimon Levi. So these are all very close together because Rabbi Yochanan and Shimon ben Lakish still learned by Rebbe. So we're not going far afield here, but already he's putting in two generations, right? We have Rav as the first generation, and Shmuel who's his bar plukta. He's like
Right.
a notch down, and then a notch further down, Rabbi Yochanan Shimon Lakish. So we're talking about the course of maybe a couple of decades, not significant time lapse. Shimon Lakish, Shimon Levi, Shimon Levi is mentioned in the Bryce as also Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Lazar, the Ava Shim'eon, were Mishamesh them. I think it's been Shama the Rav Shmuel Vavavel. That means Shamasham betamidam, yeah. Shama Rav Shmuel before comes Shal she mentions Rav Shmuel Lama Mem. Vafilu Achi. Chachma Babel have us Nefisha Tvei. The okay, this is already Talmud Bavli bias here.
Mhm.
The even though so you are feel she are Bechom or Beretz Yisrael, Chachmas Bavel Nefisha Yosef Shivas Tami Uba Bavel Masher Beretz Yisrael. So Torah is shifting, right? It's shifting from even though it's still in the time of the Yerushalmi, right? The we're shifting from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel. Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, you still have like Ravin and Kiasa Ravin, Kiasa, who else? Ravina? No. Who was the other one that used to go back and forth?
Ula.
Hmm?
Ula.
Ula?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to say, he's going to bring them down.
Okay.
Later on, he's going to speak about the rabbis who went back and forth. He's going to get them.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I thought they were still kind of early on in the Amora'im.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not dealing with big gaps. We're dealing
Okay.
with very few years, right? It's interesting that he feels it necessary to, you know, take a few decades maximum.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's more than one decade. But I guess already during Rebbe's lifetime, there were classifications of Talmidim, and they carried on to their authoritativeness after Rebbe's death.
Okay.
Uh, the uh, the paragraphs are different between the two versions. Okay, Chod Beis V'Amora'im Hador Sheni. Aside the rain after their previous generation, Nachman Rav Yehuda Rav Huna Rav Chisda Rav Sheshes Bebavel. Rabbana Acherim Dav Menachtin. See, the ones who used to go up and go back up there, so go back down to Bavel. Ula Rabbi Chia Barabba Rishon Barachmeni. Rabbana Dasim Stiku Meacha. And the Rabbanon, which went there, so from Bavel, Rabbi Ami, Rabbi Asi. So these are all, again, it's all the first generation of Amora'im.
Hmm.
Okay, but they are Rabbi Ami, Rabbi Asi are the end of the first generation of Amora'im, really, because they are primarily Rabbi. They might have seen Rabbi, I don't recall, but they're primarily Talmid Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish.
Okay.
Okay, so now then the up to the Dor Shlishi. Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Okay, okay,
Okay. Shkoyach.
okay. Okay,
This is all interesting, and I'll tell you, as now when I'm learning Bavli, Gedetanya, Babraisa, it sinks. It's like, okay, we have this oral brisa about whatever, da 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 da. It's not necessarily that it was from a specific sefer, because I was always wondering where are all these britos, where are they written down, whatever. So they weren't,
right. They weren't right.
and so, but that's a chiddush for me, and it's just very
Okay, good.
very interesting.
You learn to learn Chiddushin. That's what we're here for. Okay. Take
Okay,
care. Have a good week.
you too. Bye.